Brought to you by the Philanthropreneur Foundation, a nonprofit for nonprofits. Welcome to the Wealthy Teacher Show, and I'm your host, Dr. Victoria Boyd. You know, I get so excited to share, help, and generally just meet some really phenomenal people out in the community. And then I get to share these wonderful people right here on the set with you because they have some great stories. They are truly the wealthy teachers in the community. And so in our segment, Voices from the Field, that's what we're going to be doing. But before we get to that, you know, spring really came in like a lion this year. One day we had 50 degrees, and the next day it was 90. It was really hot. I mean, it's still hot outside. But beside being hot, we are in Vegas, but it's hot in this studio right here. The reason I want to talk about it, because I want to give a shout out to Rick and Jenny Manning. They're our producers, and we're with Rigel Studios. They have totally upgraded their entire system, and I'm so excited to be a part of their family and production crew. I'm just ecstatic. So the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because video for businesses, nonprofits, entrepreneurs, it's a vital piece of your marketing. If you haven't looked at some of the statistics, you need to. 800 billion people watch videos. There's 8 billion on YouTube. So video, social media, that is the way you have to go. This is the digital age. And if you're looking at any strategies, you need to create credibility. Being the expert is that credibility. So why I'm saying all that is because the Wealthy Teacher Show is produced by the Philanthropreneur Foundation, which is a nonprofit that supports other nonprofits with resources, education, awareness, everything for them to be successful. But as a nonprofit, we also need support too. So what we've created is a special program called Be the Expert. And for a small donation, you come on, I interview you, you get your video. It's simple. You don't have to plan. You don't have to hire anybody. I'm here. I'm your crew. But I present you as the wealthy teacher, the expert in your field. You get to tell your story. It's a win-win situation because you get a video, credibility, you're the expert, you're in the spotlight, but we get the support we need by your small donation. So think about it. If you want to create a video, come on set, contact me, reach out, Dr. Victoria Boyd, either at the website.com or drvictoriaboyd@gmail. I'll respond. I'll get you on the show as soon as possible. Reach out, find out more. So now that we have all that done, let's talk about what's in store today. Okay, I have some phenomenal guests. I mentioned that I meet great people. So I was at an event several weeks ago. It was a Business with a Heart event. And so it was a lot of businesses and people there that support nonprofits. But I met one phenomenal young lady. Her name was Jade, and she was taking pictures. And her personality I was stunned. I was just totally engulfed and became a fan of what she was doing. And then when I reached out and heard more about her story, what she's passionate about, what she's doing, I knew I had to have her on the show. So Casey will be here, and it's of Casey Jade photo. But also she's going to bring a guest of her own because one of her passions is supporting women with breast cancer. And it's a very unique way by doing photo shoots after they have had tattoos put on their mastectomy. So we're going to have Ink Ribbon Foundation and its founder, Kim Maddi. So excited to bring them on. And then we're going to wrap up the show, guess what? With another nonprofit in my puppy passion moment. Yes! And we're going to be talking about Duke. Duke has a story to tell, and telling his story will be Cynthia Miyamoto. She is the founder of UnderDogs, And Duke was the dog behind a movement that she started, and I just can't wait for you to hear her story. So, before we get into Voices from the Field, as always, I want to thank our sponsors. First of all, Agent with Heart. You can find them at agentwithheart.net, Softfront.com, which is CRM and marketing, and finally, Rock's Place Hempworks CBD oil. We're going to be right back with Voices from the Field. And welcome back to the Wealthy Teacher Show. And I am your host, Dr. Victoria Boyd. And I told you about this guest that we have coming on. Like I said, it's when I first met her, I was like, I'm a fan. So I want to welcome onto the show. This is Casey Jade, and she is of Casey Jade Photo. Casey, how are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm super excited to be here.
You know, I really have to say, you know, your personality had me at hi.
Hello.
Yes, hi. No, you're just vibrant, but more than that, you have a purpose. I talk to you about what is it that you do. Yeah, photographers, they take pictures, but you really have designed what you do to have a purpose, from making women feel fierce to empowering them. And then we're going to talk a little bit later about what your passion is. But who is Casey Jade? You know, you're this phenomenon out here. You know, who are you? Who is Casey Jade?
Part 7-year bartender, so that's where some of my personality comes from, which is great. I was also in retail management in another life, so from retail.
I don't see you doing that.
It was interesting. I rose quickly. I was the second highest paid manager in Circuit City.
Okay.
I was the operations manager, and I was the youngest operations manager in Circuit City history at 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was fun. Didn't last long, but
you know, we're in it for different seasons and reasons.
Exactly.
So now you have a photography business. You know, even on your website, I read that, you know, you were doing something else and then decided to go after your passion. You went to school for. So tell us about Casey Jade Photo.
So I realized that most photographers just take beautiful pictures, and that's great to do, but I wanted to help tell stories and help change the lives of women, one woman at a time, by giving them a fierce foundation of confidence. Because I feel as though if you don't have a foundation, your building's gonna sink. So if I can build up your confidence in the bedroom or in your business, you can take that into all the other areas of your life, and that'll shine. And
you know, it's interesting because so many people shy away from, oh, no, don't take my picture. I'm not ready. Oh, this is a bad day. Oh, get this side. Oh. But if you're comfortable with, oh, yeah, just who you are, this is the moment. You got it. That's who you have. It sort of gives them self-esteem. It boosts them up. And so you work with businesses, too. What would you say is makes your service unique when you're working with a business?
Well, just like I said, I found out that I had to be a storyteller. So with a business, every business has a story about why they have a product or service. So if they can get their story across to their clients so that their clients can resonate with them, then they'll get in front of their ideal client. So I'm great at boosting women-owned businesses mostly, but any business will do, to get them in front of their ideal client in the way that they want to portray themselves and their service and why they're around.
Okay, so how much do you, photography, you know, it's visual. Do you also add a layer of the narrative, the written word to help support it, or you're relying on the image to tell the story?
I rely all on the image.
Okay.
I do have a couple of copywriters that I work with that can add some narrative, but I try to tell the story just through photo, which is the best challenge for me.
Okay,
and it
got
makes me have to be
here.
even more creative, which I love.
Yeah. So in all the photos that you've taken, which one has stood out as some of your favorite in the business? I know there's many of them, but something that's unique, that's just strange?
One of them.
Can we say strange?
Yeah, you can say strange. You can say strange whatever you want, you know. Out there. Different.
Out the box.
Out the box. I think in business, actually one of my favorite photos I've taken was of this woman named Deanne, who is an amazing woman. She actually has a home office that she works out of, where she has little tiny things around her that make her feel at home and make her motivated to do good in the world. So we actually did a shoot to where she was in her home office, and she's a bigger girl.
Okay.
And I had just a one light setup with a little bit of like warm glow coming from the rest of the lights in the house. And she looked at that photo and she cried.
Oh, okay.
Because she was so excited about how it looked, how everything was represented. It was her world.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of a representation of her world at that time and who she was.
Okay, so you actually find out who they are as a person and then try to capture that by keeping what's close to them.
Absolutely.
Okay, see, I got it.
You got this, girl.
I got it. Woo.
Proud of you.
Woohoo. And so, I mean, you mentioned it before about empowering women. I see that in so many different ways, levels. So talk about the boudoir.
So,
The boudoir.
well, I was always a tomboy.
Okay.
So I
No.
grew up. Yes. So I grew up, you know, like helping my friends work on their cars, riding skateboards. Like, this is the only thing I can do with my hair still. But I am confident in myself. I have found out that is who I am, and I embrace that because I can be a fierce, sexy, feminine force when I need to. So with boudoir, there's so many different reasons. If you've been through a divorce and you don't feel like yourself anymore, if you've been through a fitness journey and you want to show that off to the world, if if you're going to get married and you want something to give your hubby to show like the kind of transition from single woman to married woman and to keep that, if you just want something to look back on when you're Betty White's age and say, and like to embarrass your grandkids and look and be like, look how hot your grandma was.
Okay. I don't think I want to do those photos. But
Why
anyway.
not? I can bring out what you think are your best features and hide everything else and show you in the most positive light instead of what you see in the mirror, girl.
Okay.
I got you.
I'm going to think about that. But what I really like about it, you're empowering women from a different perspective. Most, it's about be strong in the workplace, do this. No, you're taking their feminine side and saying, that's powerful too. And you, that's who you are. Use it. Okay? That is a great segue into what you're passionate about. I saw some of your photos that were phenomenal. And we're actually going to show a whole series of them when we bring on the next guest. But I want you to talk a little bit about why you got drawn to the Ink Ribbon Foundation.
When I found out that women who have been through breast cancer, who have mastectomies, when I found out that the health insurance doesn't cover the cost of any tattoo cover-up to make them feel like themselves again after being through such a traumatic experience, and I found out about the amazing, amazing idea the Ink Ribbon Foundation was, I wanted to be a part of it because I want to help women regain their confidence and come back into themselves after being through one of the hardest experiences anybody can go through.
And with your experience, what I call that trained eye, being able to look at the beauty of what others might consider deformed. I mean, I looked at the photos and I was like, wow, can I get that even though I haven't had, okay, so I don't have to wear a bra anymore. No.
Exactly.
But no, the work is beautiful, and your work and how you captured it. So what I want you to do is we're going to introduce your friend from Ink Ribbon Foundation. Her name is Kim Maddi, but when we come back, I'm going to let you do the introduction of Kim Maddi, who will join us here on the set.
Nice.
We'll be right back with Kim Maddi. And we are back. And I'm going to turn this over to Casey Jade because she has the honor of introducing her really good friend and passion. Go ahead.
So, my friend Kim Maddi is the one who started Ink Ribbon Foundation, and she actually went through breast cancer, had a double mastectomy, had a very large scar, she would wake up and look at herself in the mirror and not think the same that she used to about herself. It was depressing. She tried to go get a tattoo cover-up and insurance wouldn't cover it. She found an amazing tattoo artist named Tank, Tattoo Tank 702. He's amazing.
Tank!
And Tank!
Yes.
Yeah, no, really, he's one of the best guys ever. And she got a beautiful tattoo cover-up, and we decided to do a photo shoot. And on that end, she had the great idea to start a charitable foundation to donate the tattoo cover-up, the hair and makeup, and a photo shoot to help women regain their confidence and feel more like themselves again so they can look in the mirror and go, girl, I am fierce.
Yes, yes, yes. So, welcome to the show, Kim Maddi.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Are you the executive director still? What is your role now with Inc?
For tax purposes, I'm the president
Okay.
and founder of
Okay.
Ink Ribbon Foundation. However, it's a team effort. It's a true team effort between my tattoo artist, Tank, Casey, and our makeup artist, Jessica Reed, Fox.
She just got married.
She just got married.
Okay.
I came to all three of them with the idea, hey, I'm so pleased with my results and how wonderful I feel now having these beautiful scar cover-up tattoos. Every single one of them were on board, and we said, let's help some other women. Let's help some other women.
I went on your website, and I just sort of got mesmerized by the photos I was seeing. I'll call them transformation, even though I didn't see the before pictures too much. The work in covering up what I assumed was a horrible scar, because I couldn't see it. The tattoos were, they were so good. I'll just say, it really looked, they are works of art.
Very true.
If you go on the website, just inkribbonfoundation.org, and there's one that's a black bra. Everyone has to see that. It's amazing. But you have Casey Jade photo, and some of the images that we're going to show today is the reveal. You took those photos, so it's putting a spotlight on you.
Spotlight on her.
No, well, you were the
eye
behind the camera, but yes, you had a great model to do that reveal. So tell us more about how many women you've helped so far, maybe, what some of your goals are.
Oh, well, the goals are infinite. There's just no counting. We've been able to successfully help one woman so far in Las Vegas. She is a recent breast cancer survivor, also had a double mastectomy, so got both her scars covered up just as I did. We're super grateful in just being able to help one person so far.
How old are you? How old is the organization?
The organization is less than a year old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we got a great donation from The Source, a local dispensary in town, and also from The Grove Wedding Chapel and Venue, which is actually who I'm employed by, my daytime job, my real job.
Okay.
And
plug.
Yes. So we've been able to help one young lady so far. She's having her photo shoot done next month. So her reveal will be coming out shortly as well. But it's all about, as Casey was mentioning earlier, about telling a story.
Yes.
There was only one person from me that was going to be able to tell my story through images, and that was Casey.
Yes.
So
you put your trust into the photographer, and a lot of people have to do that. They have to give and trust and sort of release themselves and just put their faith into that camera lens and hope that what Casey is seeing really shines through, and you see it too after those photos. The photos were beautiful, and I'm sure our audience, as they look at them, will just say, wow, that's great. The image, the power, your fierceness came out. So just so the audience knows, you can donate to the Ink Ribbon Foundation. That's inkribbonfoundation.org. There's a nice big, donate button on their website. You can also find them on Facebook. That's, I've been to all the places. And so I'm encouraging you to support women that have gone through a trauma. This is a challenging, trying time for them. So what you want to do is help them become fierce, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so how can they find you, Casey?
You can either find me through inkribbonfoundation.org or CaseyJadePhoto.com.
Okay, and I've said inkribbonfoundation.org.
Correct.
You're also on Facebook. Both of you are on Facebook.
Yep.
And follow them. Keep up with what they're doing. If you are a woman in need, reach out to the Ink Ribbon because I'm sure they would like to hear your story. So I want to thank you for being here. I was totally impressed before I even had you on the show. That's why I reached out and said, I got to have you on the show. Just the idea, the thought, and everything. So welcome. Thank you for being here. And we're going to be right back with our next guest. Okay, we are back with my favorite moment, my puppy passion moment. We're going to do a little different today because we don't actually have the dog right here, but we're going to be talking about Duke. Duke had a story that really touched my heart, and it was because of Duke that a whole movement got started, and the image you see is of Duke, but we're going to talk to a real person today. And I met Cynthia Miyamoto? Miyamoto. And she is with the Urban UnderDogs. And I even love that name, Urban UnderDogs. Because, we always can relate to the underdogs. But when I met Cynthia, it was actually we weren't at something that you would normally think about dogs and things. We were at a techie event where we're learning about technology and computers and things like that. But I was sitting next to a little furry bundle of joy at a table, at a chair, in a seat, and his name was Berkeley. And that's all I remembered at the time, Berkeley, but two people were attached to him, and that is Cynthia, who is with the Urban UnderDogs. Yep. And you have a phenomenal story about, so first, tell us a little bit about you, Cynthia, what you're about. Okay. Where did you come from? Are you from Vegas? Give us your backstory.
So about 2.5 years ago, my husband and I moved to Las Vegas from Colorado. And I used to be in medical sales and marketing in Colorado. Okay. And when we moved here, I told him, I said, I want to do something different. Yeah. And so we moved here, and I kind of looked around at some different things, and I decided that I wanted to do something a little bit different to help our world, basically. Mm-hmm. I have a really strong background in marketing, which I believe helps us in communicating with our community, really.
Absolutely.
And Urban UnderDogs started from a dog that I had named Duke. Duke was an amazing bloodhound who we adopted in Denver. And he was with us for about 3.5 years. He unfortunately passed away a few months after we moved here, but he was this amazing, huge dog. He was a bloodhound, and forevermore I will love bloodhounds, but he weighed 160 pounds. Wow. He was a huge boy, and he had been severely abused. Okay. He'd been hit over the head, so we understand, with some blunt objects, and because of that he was blind in one eye. But we had seen his story and went to this particular adoption event. And the minute I saw Duke, we had this crazy connection. And the My Fairy Dog Mother is the rescue that we rescued him from in Denver.
Okay.
She does
My
amazing
Fairy
work.
Dog Mother.
My Fairy Dog Mother.
Okay.
Nikki does amazing work in the Denver area, and she mentioned to me, she's like, I've never seen a connection like you have with him. And she said, we've got other adopters. but you're the one.
Wow.
And so him and I just had this amazing event, a emotional connection.
Yes.
And because of him, we wanted to do something different in honor of him.
Okay, so he started the movement.
He started the movement, yeah.
Of urban underdogs.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
When we moved here, I kept seeing all of these individuals on these street corners with animals.
Yeah.
And there's just so many here, and it was something quite different than I had ever seen before.
Really? Because I often hear that many of our homeless population actually get animals to keep themselves company.
Absolutely.
To be that companion that they can't, or maybe don't connect to another human, but with an animal that they have that connection. And in many cases, it's probably what's keeping them alive.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, here in Las Vegas, the 2017 homeless numbers will be out in May. But in 2016, there was at least 6,000 people that
Wow.
were homeless on our streets.
Yes.
And what's interesting is that of that population, about 5 to 10% of them do have pets.
Wow.
So-
Even though they can hardly feed themselves,
Right.
they're taking on
They're
a pet.
they're taking on a pet because, like you said, you know, they're the reason that they get up every morning.
Yes.
You know, there's drug abuse. There's lots of PTSD. There's a
Yes.
lot of depression that's down, in the tunnels, because we actually venture down into the tunnels
Yeah.
to seek out these animals. And if anybody's ever been depressed, you understand that
Yeah.
you just want to stay in bed all day.
Yeah.
But these animals
Push
push them forward. They have a
Motivation.
reason to get up. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you have Urban Underdogs, which is a nonprofit, and you can find them at urbanunderdogs.org. I want everybody to help them. Give them
Thank
some
you.
money.
We love it.
Tell me what a day in your life working for Urban Underdog, what is it that you do? Where do you go? Tell me your story now
Okay.
about the work.
So basically, the way that our day starts, for example, on Monday morning, okay, we start prepping on Sunday. We pre-bag all food because we understand that, for example, our homeless population, they can't carry a huge bag of food.
Yes.
They just can't.
Yeah.
So we pre-bag everything, and we start. We have a list of different ravines and tunnels. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that here in Las Vegas, there's almost 600 miles of tunnels and ravines.
Wow, yeah.
And those are the places that our homeless individuals, they seek out, especially in the summer, because a tunnel, if
It's
you've ever been in
cool.
a summer, it's
It's
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
And so we literally will seek out individuals with pets that need assistance. We have
Yeah.
3 programs. Our Anna Meals program, which is our largest program.
Okay. And meals.
Anna Meals, absolutely. Last year in 2017, we handed out about 5 tons of food to our
Wow.
community.
Wow, tons,
tons.
not pounds, tons.
Yes.
Woo, okay.
We also have our Nip and Tuck program, which is our spay and neuter program.
Okay.
Because, as you know,
That's important.
overpopulation is out of this world,
Yes.
and we need to control that. And then we have our No Cooties program, which is our vaccine program, because we don't want them to get any cooties.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that name.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you are doing phenomenal work. And literally, I met you 3 or 4 years ago. Well, it had to have been 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, about 2.5 years
You
ago.
must have just gotten here because it's.
Yeah, we had just gotten here, and then Duke passed away, and it just all kind of,
Snowballed.
It snowballed. We started seeing these, individuals with pets, and we take a really proactive approach.
Yeah.
We want to kind of head them off before animals get to the shelters, because
Yes.
besides the homeless, we also are very involved with our veterans community.
Okay.
Seniors, unemployed and underemployed.
Absolutely. So you're covering a lot of ground,
Absolutely.
but basically it's supporting the animals, helping whoever it is that might not be able to give the animal the care that they also deserve.
Absolutely.
And it reminded me of What Every Dog Deserves. There's a site out there by Kellen Cosman that has just gotten a phenomenal, but it's what every dog deserves.
Absolutely.
And so, as soon as I met you and heard about what you were doing, I've constantly stayed in contact.
Yeah, we have stayed in contact, which I'm just honored that you would want to stay in contact with us.
So
yes.
I shoot out little messages here and there, but there's certain groups. I have my puppy passion, and you are taking care of the dogs that really can't take care of themselves,
Right.
and so you fit right into the mold of what I'm passionate about. So I really want to thank you for coming on today.
Well, it's an honor. I mean, when you reached out, I was like, absolutely. There was like no question as to whether we would come in and
Yeah.
join you. So.
I want my audience to support Urban Underdogs, and you can find them. They're on Facebook and on their website, urbanunderdogs.org. Please go on there, give a donation, give them a bag of food. They said 5 tons of food was distributed last year. Please support this nonprofit. It's called Urban Underdogs. Cynthia, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I just
Okay.
love you. Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
We'll be right back. Wasn't that a great show? I mean, we had some phenomenal guests. Just Casey with her passion, how she makes women feel fierce through boudoir, then supporting the Ink Ribbon Foundation. I hope you really appreciate what they're doing. So as a wrap up, make sure that so that you can hear more stories like that, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, because then you'll get all of these sessions right in your inbox. If you have a question, go to drvictoriaboyd.com. But please support us in what we're doing. And once again, thank you to our sponsors, Agent with Heart. You'll find them at agentwithheart.net. Softfront CRM Marketing. You'll find them at softfront.com. And of course, Rock's Place Hempworks. Find them at hempworks.com/rocksplace. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next time.